Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's me, Mr. Mario, and welcome to episode 33 of Thrifty Gaming Pickups. This right here is my dog, Lily. Good dog, good dog, good dog, good dog. And right here, this is a series I like to do on my second channel. I did say second channel because I do have a main channel linked down below in the description where I cover, modded systems, games, tutorials, all that fun stuff with a lot more editing. These are generally super low-key, easy to make, very low production videos where I kind of just record everything and then cut, done, and that's about it. And I always do them with Lily, so that's the nice thing. Lily is my dog, and she has been in every single episode of Thrifty Gaming Pickups. Now, here's one thing. If you want to continue with this series where I kind of just go through the games that I've picked up from game stores and thrift stores and garage sales and what have you at good prices, I feel like, and got good deals, feel free to subscribe here on the channel, and there is a playlist linking the other 32 episodes. Now, I am doing this back-to-back. If you missed out on the previous episode, that's fine. But I'm doing this back-to-back with episode 32 because recently I said normally what I like to do is I like to kind of just acquire things, and then once the piles get a little bit too big, I make a video. So that way, because generally what I do, my process is over a few weeks, I'll get things from thrift stores. They kind of pile up here in the office because I want to make a video. And when they get a little bit too big, I make a video, I go downstairs, I integrate it with my collection. That's generally how these go, But recently, I had a few small stacks for a few weeks, and then all of a sudden just everything within like 2 days. So I actually ended up deciding to split up the stacks. So there is some stuff that's from thrift stores here. I did say last episode this is only really going to be game stores, but you know what? Last episode I said that was only going to be thrift stores, and I put half-price book shit in there too. So, that's just how it be sometimes, unfortunately. Lily, you've been really good here, so I'm gonna give you a treat. Hold on. Let me give this dog another treat. You get a small one at least, but yeah. Anyways, here, this is primarily, I would say, from game shops, and we'll just go through and see what we got here. So there was a few shops I ended up going to, and there were deals and sales that were going on, essentially. So first of all, let me just do the more complex thing here. Now, if you all don't know about Movie Trading Company or Vintage Stock, they're really about the same thing. They're not my favorite store, honestly, but I've noticed their original Xbox titles, which I went hard on this episode here, as you can see. The original Xbox titles are generally in pretty, they generally ask pretty fair prices for them. Plus, I've covered it in previous episodes where they might have, some little demos and stuff like this. Now, they were having a buy two, get one free sale on their used media, specifically like games, CDs, DVDs, all that fun stuff. And it was mix and match as well, too. Now, the nice thing is, so these are pretty much like standard game store prices, and I feel like I paid fair prices for them, but every third game here you're going to see is free. And I had to go through and I had to reorganize them because big shout out to them on this. I actually did ask them about this. This was the first stack I did the sale on. And I ended up getting, so here's how the math goes, right? I ended up getting these 6 $1 games. And I even asked, I was like, hey, I'm wanting to maximize my savings here, and I'm getting a whole lot of games that's going to, equate to all of this here. So is it possible to do my 6 $1 games on a separate transaction, then do the rest on another? And they're like, oh, no. We're not going to screw you over like that. Like, we're not going to do the thing where if you get here, in this case, 18 games, for example, so that means every third one is a third of that stack. You get 18 games, a third of it's going to be free, but a third of it here is $1 titles. You're not going to only save $6. And they were very cool. They explained to me, they're like, no, that's not how we do things. We want to maximize your sale. So we're not going to just, grab the 6 cheapest games out of your pile and get those ones to be free. We're going to just split it up accordingly. And then they started splitting it, and they were like, hey, so we're just gonna, we have to pretty much categorize everything from most expensive to least expensive, and then we're gonna chop it up. After every third game, we'll chop it up. And I actually already did that because I was kind of going to ask about that. And they're like, oh, you did it for us? Cool. You actually, thank you. You made it a lot easier for us. So essentially, this is how we're doing it, right? So check this out. Infamous 2, I ended up getting this. This was labeled as a demo, I'm sure. But this is the full game right here. This is just in a slipcover. But Infamous 2 on PS3 for $1. Uncharted, Drake's Fortune, again, same thing. It's just the full game, but in a slipcover right here. It's not a demo, but it's a full game. $1. And here, a PlayStation Move demo disc. I love collecting these discs, but this is free. Here, I think it's OXM April 2009 here, so OXM number 82, official Xbox magazine for those who don't know. This, at this point, is where they started transitioning to complete Xbox 360 discs. They used to do Xbox demos, like Xbox demo discs, and then for a short time they did Xbox 360 demo discs, where it was both formats on one. And by this point, they started doing only Xbox 360 discs. But anyways, this was $1. And I love these cased ones too. You couldn't get the cased ones. Here's the thing with these. These were more expensive because you couldn't get the ones in the real nice cases from if you subscribe to the magazine. If you subscribe to the magazine, you end up getting like a cheap slip cover. But if you want a nice plastic case like this, you had to pay the extra money and buy it from a newsstand. So that's unfortunate. But here is one of these dual format ones. As you can see, works in Xbox 360 and original Xbox. This is issue July 2006, and this is $59. So this is just one of the examples right here of what I was talking about. $1 for this. And a jam... Oh, I just noticed this. This is a brand new jam pack, yo. No, never mind. It's been opened. It's been opened, but still, cool. One of the PS2 demo discs that you could buy at like Walmart or any other retailer and such. This one was free. So those were the ones I'm getting. So we're just going to be going through the rest of this here just like that. I had to reorganize it, but again, every third game is going to be free, and I'm going to mention that. So Red Dead Revolver, this was $17. Man, I had this game. I had this game on the original Xbox. I didn't play it really that much. A friend and I messed around multiplayer one time. That was it. And I sold it to get some other games that I completely forgot about. I don't know. But anyways, nice to have this in. So now I have the entire Red Dead collection. I have Red Dead Revolver, Red Dead Redemption, Undead Nightmare, Red Dead Redemption Game of the Year collection, and Red Dead 2. So, on different systems, but still nice to have them. And anyways, this was $17. I paid less for it back in the day, but you know, that's just how it goes sometimes. Death Row or Death Row. I don't know how to say this, but I rented this one time. That's the only time I played it. Played it for a few days. I loved this game as a kid, and I've kind of just been holding off on getting it for a while, but I'll be honest, I never see this in thrift stores. And just watch, I'm making this episode, and in like 1 or 2 weeks, I'm going to find this at every single thrift store I go to. Just watch, it's going to be like that, and it's going to laugh at me and tease me. The point is, out of all the years of thrift store shopping, I haven't found this game. I enjoyed it, I wanted to play it again, and I said, you know what? Game stores, like Vintage Stock, are going to have this, and it's going to be easy to find there. And they're doing a buy two, get one free, so I might as well pick it up. And it's a Xbox exclusive, I forgot about that. But this is $15, about what you'd expect to pay, but whatever. I have it. Blood Rain 2, this was free. It is a $10 game, but I got this for free, thankfully. And I never played this one. I played the first one on PS2. I owned the first one on Xbox. Did not own the second one. So it's really awesome being able to add this in. Can't wait to play it. The Suffering, Ties That Bind. I just got the original as well too on the Xbox. I didn't include that here because I didn't get those on sale. I also got like another stack of Xbox games right before this, but none of them were on sale, so that's why I didn't include it here. But I decided to get this to complete the collection on that, so that's a nice thing. I end up getting both Blood Rain games, so I have all of them now, at least on OG Xbox. I have both Suffering games, so this was $8. 187 Ride or Die. Never played this. I'm actually, again, surprised I did not own this game, but now I do. $8. And Amped 2. This one actually... This one I think is still end up being a freebie, but it was not $6. It was actually on sale for $4, but still end up being a freebie. So it just needs to go elsewhere in the pile. But, going on. Time Splitters 2. I played this a decent amount when I was younger, ended up selling it, so I was able to get it again here. Time Splitters 2, $6. I thought that was a real good price for it. Quantum Redshift. Heard great things about it. Never played this game. $5. Breakdown. Have heard fantastic things about this game. Never played it. I'll play it for free. because I can. Because that was a free game. So nice to have all of those there. So that was the buy two get one frees that I end up taking advantage of on that. Now I also end up going to another store at one point and got the exact same deal here. So again, same deal. We're just gonna run through this. I got Thief. These ones I haven't even opened, as you can see. I need to open them up, rip them and everything. But Thief, Deadly Shadows, $10. Crimson Sea. I really don't know much about this game, but I always forget about it. I saw it was a original Xbox exclusive. Decided to pick it up. I'm excited to try this one, honestly. This will be hopefully good. $10. And Black. This I have it on PS2, but I now have it on original Xbox and does 480p. This is one of the PS2 titles that does 480p, and it looks good on there, but it should look better on the Xbox, so I'm excited to play it. This one was free, by the way. Smashing Drive. I had this. I played it in the arcades. I had this and played it on GameCube. Sold it with my first GameCube, which I completely forgot one of my best friends has, but he still has that same one to this day. I don't know if he has Smashing Drive. But anyways, I decided, shout out Donald, decided to grab it on Xbox here. $8. Ninja Gaiden Black. I now also have both the Ninja Gaiden games on the Xbox in the pile of OG Xbox games I picked up not on sale. I decided to add Ninja Gaiden there, and they didn't have Black at the time, but I got Ninja Gaiden Black, so I now have both of them, and I believe both of them are backwards compatible on Xbox One as well. But this was $8. Gunvalkyrie. I believe the European copy, because I was shocked to see this is only $8, but I believe the European copy is worth a lot more. So, you know, if you're in Europe, if you're across the pond, you want a legit copy of this, get the American version. I guess that's what I can recommend. I'm pretty sure it was the European one that's more expensive. But anyways, $8, but in this case, it was free. Air Force Delta Storm. I rented this game, I remember like right when it came out, didn't really understand it, but I've always wanted to go back and revisit it and give it a proper playthrough. Maybe not even all the way, but at least properly play it. So $8, figured that'd be worth it. Mark Echo's Getting Up. I remember I played this on the PS2, thought it was really cool. I don't believe I spent years avoiding the Xbox version because at the time when I was growing up, I wasn't playing on the original Xbox, I was playing on the 360, and I remember this not being backwards compatible because I remember I would go to, and I should even double check, but from what I recall, I remember going to GameStop and I would always see this game for somewhat cheap, but it never had the backwards compatible sticker on it because generally at GameStop it would say like the price and it would say BC next to the title there, and it didn't have it unfortunately. But $7 for this. And Soldier of Fortune 2 Double Helix. I played one of these a while ago, thought it was really awesome, so can't wait to try it again here. This is free. Serious Sam. Oh my goodness, all I can tell you all is I hope this game is going to work, because I remember this game came out as a budget title. It was like $20 on the original Xbox when it came out. I got it. I thought it was so fun, but the game was unplayable because my disc was defective and it kept giving me disc read errors. So I was able to persevere through a few levels, but I distinctly remember after a few levels, I could not progress further through the game. The game just took forever to load, but there was one specific loading screen. I'd let it sit there for 5 or 10 minutes and it would eventually give me a disc read error. And the game was brand new, it was in perfect condition, and I eventually ended up selling it. But I remember talking with someone at a GameStop once, and we were talking about Serious Sam, and he's like, "Oh, what, you got a working one? You're lucky." And I asked, "What do you mean?" And he was like, "Yeah, there was a whole bunch of copies of Serious Sam that are defective, so they'll give you disc read errors even though they're in perfect shape." And I told him, I was like, "No, mine's not like that. I also have the same problematic version. Is there a fixed version?" He's like, "Yeah, they fixed it later." His words. Again, I can't confirm this. He was like, "Yeah, they fixed it up later, but there were a big batch of them that were defective, and if you play through them, you really can't play them." So I really hope I got a properly working version here. I really hope so. But yeah, $6 for this. We're actually even thinking on that here. Yeah, no, it was $6 because I got Soldier of Fortune for free. Prince of Persia, The Two Thrones. Did not have this one, so I've now completed my Prince of Persia collection on the original Xbox. $6. Minority Report. I played through this on the GameCube, thought it was real cool, sold it years and years and years ago. Now I have it on Xbox, and this was free. Spy Hunter Road to Nowhere. I ended up finishing, I started and finished my Spy Hunter collection on the original Xbox as well, so I now have Spy Hunter 2, and Spy Hunter Nowhere to Run, which I completely forgot this one existed, but this one has a horrible issue with it. Just look at this. What kind of monster sticks this sticker here, this plasticky security sticker, on the booklet? I was not too happy about that, but I'm just gonna have to, I don't know, I could maybe carefully take it off, but man, that was not cool. Anyways, this was $6. Then I ended up grabbing a couple PSP games. I got Wipeout Pulse, which I surprisingly did not own, so I decided to pick it up. Wipeout Pure was real cool, but never picked up Wipeout Pulse. And the last game, I now definitely have both Lumines or Lumines games on the PSP, because I never owned Lumines 2, but Lumines 2 for free. And another cool thing about this is, I believe, yeah, this is the original seal right here, you all. It doesn't have like a seal on it, but this is the original packaging. And I can tell too, just because if you can kind of see, you know, the UMD kind of outline there. And this feels completely different than like any of the plastic wrap, like on these games, for example. So this game is still brand new, even though it was used. So I thought that was real cool. But anyways, again, free, can't complain. Happy to add it in. Now, the next store I end up going to, and this was, I might do a little bit of a back and forth between here and this company here, Vintage Stock, because there was a few games. Essentially, I'll kind of retell this story, and if you watch this, if you watch episode 32, sorry, I'm going to retell this story here, but several people have asked me how I keep track of my games, or how I know, when I am or am not buying duplicates. And I kind of explained that I just have this thing where generally, if it's a system I don't regularly collect for, I can look at a game and be all like, hey, I know I don't have this. Like, for example, in this case, I looked at these two PSP games and I said, yep, these PSP games I know I definitely do not own in my collection, so I'm going to add them. However, if it's a game that, or if it's a system that I'm really going hard and collecting for, in this case, like the original Xbox, which is the example I used in the last episode, I can start collecting things so fast that it gets to the point that I do accidentally buy duplicates. And the last time I ended up buying a somewhat sizable amount of duplicates, I got several duplicates, and I wasn't too happy because I honestly sat there and thought, oh, I don't own these games, and then what do you know, I go home and find out I own them. I end up, I'll trade them, sell them, what have you, because I don't want to keep like 5 copies of the same game, unless it's something I have a specific value towards. But what I'm saying here is, with the original Xbox, every single time I go out and I buy an original Xbox, kind of explained this in the last episode, but I don't download these games. I enjoy going out and collecting them and find them. It's just part of the hunt is real fun. They're cheap enough to add to the collection as well. I mean, you've seen the prices on these. And then on top of that, I love having, the physical games in my collection. But every single game I get, I take the original Xbox game, I rip it over, I dump it onto my PC, and then I FTP them over to my consoles. So that way I have them physically and owned, but I also have the digital copies on hand on my PC or on a console where I can just, fire them up and play them, and I get all the benefits of playing off a hard drive and preserving the DVD disc drive and not having to grab the disc out of my collection. So it's real nice having that. But what I did was I ended up going through, I exported the names of all of my folders into a document, and I continue to add to that. Every single time I rip my games, I always add to that document. And that document, I can access it on a laptop, a desktop, a phone, what have you. So when I'm out in the wild looking at these games, I do reference that document, and I look to see what I have and what I don't. And I will say, it's been good, but because it saved me from buying duplicates. But I've been shocked at what I don't own at the same time. So again, I complained about, buying duplicates, so I did that to stop it. But then at the same time, I was like, oh, I'm shocked that I don't have Mark Echo's Getting Up. I thought I had that at one point. I had no idea that I didn't have Black on the original Xbox. Oh yeah, I have it on the PS2, so that makes sense, and I kind of just associated it in my head. So things like that I was really surprised with. I thought I might have had one of the Ninja Gaidens, but I didn't. So having that list really helped out. So if it's like something that you really want to go hard on, that does help out. But generally, that's kind of how it is. With systems I don't collect super regularly for, I play by ear, but if it's something I'm getting a lot of all at once, I gotta have a list for it. And for the OG Xbox, that list has been super helpful. So, here I also ended up at one point visiting my friend's game shop. This is Gamers HQ. Absolutely love that place. Shout out to Caleb. I did a video touring it as well too on my main channel. But while I was in the area, I decided to go to the shop, and full disclosure, because I know him, because we're friends, because I've helped him out, but even I knew him for years prior to that, I'm able to get a discount there as well too. So on these, I guess I'll kind of cover this last, you know what. I ended up finding a nice stack of games that I wanted, and I ended up trading in some stuff as well too. So actually, let me... No, it's all good. It's all good. I'll get to the games later. But anyways, just these current prices here. So here, I kept the stickers on them just so you all can see the prices, but Metal Gear Solid digital graphic novel. This thing is awesome. I have watched it before, and it is awesome. It's just a digital voiced graphic novel on the PSP of the story of the original Metal Gear Solid. It's awesome. I love it. I'm happy to finally have it here, but it was $15, and my discount is 25%, so I'm not gonna do the price on each of these, but if you see a price on here or you hear me say a price, just take 25% off it. That's how much I paid. So Metal Gear Solid digital graphic novel on PSP, 25% off, 15. Infected. This game, I loved this game, and I was so happy where I talked with Devin on Mod Chat about it recently, and he had love for this game as well too. And the soundtrack on this game is incredibly dope. I love this game. I love how bloody and stupid and horrific it is, and the soundtrack, oh my god. This got me into Trivium, for example. I wouldn't have really known about them if I didn't play this. But I also noticed this one has one of these little clear replacements, so I guess the previous disc was not taken care of. Funny enough, because my own copy of Infected could have done the same thing. I had this game, and I remember I did sell it, but the disc itself, like the casing the UMD was in horrible shape when I got it, but the game worked. So, yeah, $15 for this. Again, 25% off anything in this pile. Alter Echo. Never played this game. Really don't know all too much about it, but I'm excited to try this out. $5? Why not? Armed and Dangerous. I have a disc-only copy of this. I consciously bought a duplicate of this because I have a disc-only copy of it, and now I have a full copy with the cover art and, you know, the case and the manual and everything. And plus it's a cheap game as well too to begin with, so $3 for this. So there's sometimes having a duplicate does help. Capcom vs. SNK 2 EO. I know I had this game at one point, and I must have sold it when I was younger, but I have it now. $10. Freedom Fighters. $6. I heard really good things about this game growing up. Did not play it, but I believe I have this on PS2 as well. I picked it up at one point, but I'd rather play, if it's available on PS2 or Xbox, I'd rather play the Xbox copy just because in 2019 it looks nicer. Also, the cool thing is with these, you have a chance of them going to backwards compatibility on Xbox One, so they'll look even nicer, while as with PS2, not so much. Kingdom Under Fire Heroes, $10. So now I have both the Kingdom Under Fire games, which is nice. Legacy of Kain Defiance. I was surprised I did not have this one. I've never owned this game, but now I do. And for $5, hell yeah. Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition Remix. This is another game I was surprised. If you saw the previous episode, I just got it on PS2. I have a Xbox 360 copy as well too, and I know this was on PSP, but I did not have it on the original Xbox. I was surprised with that. I have Midnight Club 2, but now I also have Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition Remix. $10, of course, 25% off. Obscure. I was talking with a friend while I was looking at this, and I remember I saw this and I was like, I never see this game anywhere, but I remember it now because I distinctly remember this being, I thought it was strange that this said it was, you know, advertising Sum 41 on there. And he kind of looked at it and he was like, what, is this a high school Silent Hill? And I said, yeah, kind of. So even just looking at this here, what haunts the halls at Leafmore High? Staying late after class takes on a whole new meaning in the first action game created in the style of teen horror movies. Tortured screams echo through Leafmore High's deserted corridors. Faceless creatures lurk in the shadows. 5 teenagers set out to bring light into the darkness and experience a night that will scar their souls forever. See, this sounds cool to me, all right? And on top of that, it even has 2-player cooperative mode on a original Xbox horror game. This just sounds cool as hell. So I saw this, I was like, I have to get this. Even though it's a little bit higher in price, I gotta get this game. But again, 25% off, so it helped. Outrun 2. I'm happy to finally have this game in the collection. This is great to have in there. So, $15. Of course, take the 25% off that. Phantasy Star Online Episode 1 and 2. Looking at this, I know this says Xbox Live required to play. I don't remember if there is any patch or any method to play this at all. I know that Episodes 1 and 2, like the Phantasy Star games, you can play them on the Dreamcast offline, but I really don't know if anything's been updated for the original Xbox One. So this could have been a waste, admittedly, but I decided, you know what, let's go ahead and add it. Screw it. So $8 for this. Cool to have it in there, but I'll see. And if you all know of anything about this, please let me know. Phantom Dust. This ended up getting re-released on the original Xbox, or no, Xbox One, excuse me. This is an odd one. So my only exposure I've ever had to this is I played about 5 minutes of it on the Xbox One. And it was a real weird one because this game came out, it is a first party, well, not first party, but it's a exclusive on the original Xbox, as you can see. Came out on there. Nothing ever happened to it after that. And then on the original Xbox, not the original, on the Xbox One, it got announced that it was going to get an entire remake. And then it kind of went into obscurity. And then they said they were going to do a remaster. And then it kind of fell into obscurity. And then they said they were going to do a remaster, but it was going to be free and it was going to have some pay-to-win stuff on it. So this is actually, you can get the remastered version of it for free on the Xbox One. But I decided to grab the Xbox, the OG Xbox copy of it here. So that was cool. This, I'm just realizing here, several of these games do not have the prices on them. So I'm going to have to actually grab my receipt or something for these. Damn. The reason why these ones don't have the prices is because I would like take the cases up there and they just had, you know, a pre-cased copy sitting in the back, so they just sold that one to me. So some of these I don't have the prices on, but let me go ahead and grab them. Alright, so coming back here after a nice little interruption jump cut, I have the prices on these because I have the receipts kind of just pulled up directly next to me here. But here for Phantom Dust, this ended up being $15, and of course take, you know, the 25% off of that, so you can do the math on that. Next game I ended up grabbing was Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy. I believe at this point now there's only 2 Star Wars games I'm missing on the original Xbox. I'm missing Battlefront 2 because I don't feel like paying $50 for it, and I'm missing Republic Commando because that's also one of the more expensive ones, unfortunately. But this here was $20, so this is kind of getting up there. So again, the next ones I'm gonna have to pick up will be Republic Commando and not Knights of the Old Republic. I got that. But yeah, Battlefronts 2. So those will be the next ones I grab eventually. But until then, I have most of the Star Wars collection. Time Splitters Future Perfect. This was a cool one. I was able to finish up this series as well too. So I now have Time Splitters 2 and Future Perfect on the original Xbox, meaning I have all the Time Splitters games on the original Xbox. So this ended up being $15, and then of course take 25% off. Resident Evil The Dark Side Chronicles. I was with a friend of mine. I got really excited when I saw this because I honestly didn't think I would see this. And I was complaining about this to a friend of mine recently. I was out with some friends. We were looking at some game shops. And every shop I go to, if you look at the Wii games and you look at the Resident Evil games on there, most likely you will find Resident Evil Dark Side Chronicles, or not Dark Side, you will find Umbrella Chronicles. Now these games are cool. The Chronicles games, not Dark Side, I keep saying it, damn. But the Umbrella Chronicles, they take Resident Evil 0 and 1. And instead of you playing through them like regularly, such as, you know, just like, you know, the regular games, they end up turning it into a on-rail shooter where you end up shooting at the screen like it's a light gun game. It's a really cool take on the Resident Evil games. It's easier to play. You get through the story a lot faster. A friend of mine and I, we had a fun time playing through Resident Evil 0 that way. But yeah, Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil 1 are on the Umbrella Chronicles. But I never see Dark Side Chronicles anywhere. I never see it, and it always annoys me. So I saw it at my friend's store, And I saw that and I was just like, I have to get it. Okay, I have to get it now. Especially, because no lie, I can, get it a little bit cheaper as well too. So that ended up definitely helping out. But this ended up being $15, which I felt was quite fair on that. And finally, Resident Evil 0. Just speaking of the devil on that, this one is not a on-rails shooter game. This one is actually Resident Evil 0 from GameCube ported over to the Wii, where you have to use the Wii modes and the nunchuck. In a previous episode, I had picked up Resident Evil on the Wii, so at this point now I actually have several of them. I have Resident Evil, I have Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil, Umbrella Chronicles, Darkside Chronicles, so the only Wii Resident Evil game I'm missing is Resident Evil 4. And I almost picked it up when I saw it there because it was $8, but unfortunately I looked at it and I think it was missing the manual, but on top of that it was completely water damaged. And that's one of those things I try and avoid water damage games when I can, because at that point it looks horrible and it's just mold and it's just not cool, man. So that's like one of my exclusions, one of my no-nos when I'm picking up games, unless it's something like, for example, if it's like a game I've really been looking for and I know that I can replace the case and the cover art and the manual and all that, or I might have a complete copy at home and I just need a new disc or whatever, then I'll make an exception. But generally, if I see a game, even if, like, for example, Resident Evil 4, well, one, it's been ported to every single system under the sun, but two, even if it's something I want, I still wanted it on Wii. I saw that it was water damaged. I said, nope, can't do it. I'll just find the next copy, because that's a cheap one if you want to pick that up. So yeah, thankfully I have almost all the Resident Evil games on the Wii, so that's been cool. Now here, I ended up doing some thrift stores. Right, Lily? You were not with me at that time. But I ended up going to a few thrift stores. Some people might be looking at this, and I think this Resident Evil 2 has just been teasing a few people. But I ended up going to one, and I found these there, and I was pretty surprised. Now, unfortunately, the day I was going in, they were not doing a sale on these. They were doing 30% off another day, but I wasn't there for that. So I ended up paying full price for these, but it still wasn't bad. So Resident Evil 2, first of all, on PlayStation, I saw this, and I was shocked. And the friend that I was with, I remember I grabbed this, and I showed them. I was like, look, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 2, like, this is here. And I was just so shocked that I was able to find it there. On PS1, it was the only good PS1 game they had. The other three I found were all just generic sports games, but damn, this one really surprised me. This is $4, by the way. I think the cheapest I've ever seen that, to be honest, like ever in my life, ever. Just Cause 2 on PS3. Y'all might have been seeing, at least in the last episode, I picked up a bunch of PS3 games. Yeah, PS3 was plentiful this time around. I don't know, but this is $4. Never ever played this, so this will be fun to try out. Battlefield Bad Company. I played this on 360, but now I have both Bad Company 1 and 2 on PS3, which is cool. $4. And Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max Payne. I played this on Xbox. I have it. This is a little bit painful. This is why I kind of went back and forth. I saw this sticker and I'm like, man, whoever had this before paid $1.50 for this. So I ended up paying my $4. It's still worth it, but still, I'm like, man, at one point it got to be that cheap. I didn't pick it up then. But for a complete copy of this, it's in good condition, and I don't have this one on the PS2. I decided to grab it. So $4 for each of these games. Again, not bad. And the biggest surprise for me was Resident Evil 2. I was so happy when I found that there. So that was awesome. Last thing here, this big box that I'm sure many people have been looking at. But first of all, I end up finding this here. So this, I actually end up reaching out to a friend of mine and asked if they wanted it. Because this, in case you do not know, this is all analog to analog, which is nice. But this is just some really nice Radio Shack branded video cables for component. And at the end here is a component to VGA adapter. So that way you can just adapt it pretty easily. Right, Lily? But anyways, you could adapt that, and this is only $2. And I remember I found this, I sent a picture of a friend, I was like, hey, do you want it? And he was like, no, I got one in my collection, I'm good, but you should definitely get it. So I decided $2, sure, just in case the need ever arises that I have to convert components to VGA. Guess what? I can do it. So I have that there. Now here I end up grabbing a few games. And here I got Freestyle on the PS2 for only $1. That was a great deal. Jack X Combat Racing, $3. Medal of Honor, $3. And Battlefield 3, $3. So this one I actually now have on 360 and PS3, which is nice. It's funny because I even thought of this as I was buying it. I was like, I remember when this game came out, a lot of people were kind of doing comparisons between the 360, PS3, PC versions, and this one also had an HD texture pack you could put on there as well too for the 360. So I'm sure when it came out, a lot of people were like, oh my god, why the hell would you play that on the 360? Get on PC. But I actually want to do the reverse. I actually want to go back and play this on 360 with the mindset of, wow, this game came out on PC, but this is what the 360 could do with it. So I kind of want to do that reverse thing. And also Medal of Honor, I have this on PS3. I actually got it on PS3 when it came, shortly after it came out, because it had Medal of Honor Frontline on it, and you could only get that on the PS3 version. But I'd rather play through the actual game on 360, so I got the 360 copy. Now right here, I ended up getting a console. This is the last thing I got here. And this is why I kind of got a little confused and I was thinking of, the Gamers HQ type stuff, because here, this is a bundle. Now, thankfully, this thrift store I went to, they are fair in prices, they were really nice, and they do test their stuff. When I was there, they actually got a Nintendo and a Super Nintendo and a bunch of games in. Unfortunately, I couldn't buy them from them. They had to do a bunch of tests and all that, and they said, yeah, it's going to take us a few days to put them out, and we're going to have to, we're probably just going to do it as a bundle. But they were super nice either way. And I was like looking at the last games, and then I was about to get in line, and when I was getting in line, I saw this Wii box, and I was like, that's a good deal, so I'm going to grab that, surprisingly. But here, end up getting this. I even talked with the guy who processed it. This is a brand new nunchuck. He didn't even know it was brand new until he opened it to test it, so it's only been opened once before, but brand new nunchuck. The Wii console itself, thankfully, this is the model that, yes, does have GameCube backwards compatibility right off the bat. The Wii stand. I never really see those, so that's really cool to have. People want to charge like $5 for that piece of plastic. Come on, man. A official PSU, so that's nice to have. A Nerf wheel. A official wheel for Mario Kart. Regular composite cables. And here, I thought this was nice. They have one Wiimote, two Wiimotes, a 4 Wiimote charging dock, and all this, the nice thing is too, all this was confirmed to work. They tested everything. Got a few straps in here. The sensor bar, because of course that's necessary to use the thing. I'm not even sarcastically saying that, it is necessary to use it. And finally, another nunchuck. So here, in this big mess, they end up having this. The Wii with 2 remotes, 2 nunchucks, 2 wheels, 5 games, and a remote charging base for $45. Now you might be asking, wait, where are the games? What was it, those ones? No, it was not actually. I actually ended up getting rid of the games because I ended up going to this store and I even looked at it and I was like, man, this is all working, it's in good condition, and for the games it's actually a pretty good deal. I mainly thought it's like, sometimes I'll go to a shop and I'll find a Wii by itself for $15-20, but for $45 you're getting, again, everything tested, and there's even batteries in there, but all the Wii console with GameCube backwards compatibility, all the hookups, a couple wheels, which I really don't need, but I'm not going to also say no to, 2 Wiimotes, and 2 nunchucks. Like, I have everything here good to go. Plus, on top of that, the 5 games. But the games, I already have the games I want for the most part. Funny, because I just bought some here. But I have most of the games that I want, And then I'm just going to soft mod the system as well, too, and run them off a USB drive, so that's all good to go. However, with the 5 games, they ended up having... I thought this was a good deal, too, because I looked at it, I was like, these are really good games. Well, one of them. They had Mario Kart Wii. What was the other one? We Play, The Bigs, some like Guinness Book of World Records game, and I think Game Party 2. And I knew I wasn't going to use any of them. Some people might be saying, wait, what? You're not going to play Mario Kart Wii? Listen. Slow down, listen to me. I already own Mario Kart Wii. I don't need a second copy of it. Even Wii Play, that's actually a game I have a duplicate of. So I need to sell one of my copies of Wii Play. I don't need a third copy of it. And the other 3 games, I know that I'm never going to play. So I ended up taking all those games, and I knew, aside from Mario Kart, I really wasn't going to get anything for them. And I was right. I got $0.25 a piece for them, and I got $11 for Mario Kart. Well, no, $10, excuse me. But then I ended up getting the trade on that. So point is on here, I ended up going, I bought this all for 45 bucks. I took the games because I did not need them. I didn't need the duplicates, and I didn't need the games that I wasn't going to play. I took them over to Gamers HQ, got the trade in there. I got 15 bucks in trade that I was able to use. So to me, this bundle is a $30 bundle because again, it was games that I wasn't going to play, and then I was able to put that money towards games that I actually do want to play and add to the collection. So I'd say, in my mind here, at least, some people might say, oh, it's 45 with the games again. I got rid of the games, but for me, $30, I was happy with it for what I got here. And this is about what I would expect to pay for a Wii, but again, it's in good shape, it's tested, and it's complete and ready to go. The only thing it was really missing is an SD card, but they didn't come with SD cards, so I can't even be mad about that. I was just hoping there'd be one in there, but there wasn't. Now, the last thing, completely forgot to mention this here, I end up seeing this as well at Gamers HQ. It is a Circle Pad Pro. Now, I don't really see these out in the wild, I'll be honest, and I never owned one, but one of my friends who is really into Monster Hunter on the 3DS had one of these, and he loved it. So I ended up seeing this, and it was $5. And I was like, you know what? I want to get one of these as well too, just to at least have as an accessory, because it's something that I don't have. And funny enough, when they started going through all the games, because you know I paid less because again, I had the games, $15 credit that I was able to use. I got the 25% off anything there, and this is going to be $5. And then the lady I was talking to, she's like, you know what? I'm just going to give this to you. I was like, wait, really? Are you sure? I mean, I appreciate it, thank you, but like, are you sure you want to do that? And she's like, yeah, look, we got like 20 of these things, and I convinced the owner. I said, you know what? We should try at least selling them, because he wanted to throw it away, and I said, no, let's try selling them. And you're the only person I've seen who's wanted to buy this, so I'm just gonna give it to you. You know what? You're a friend here. You're a good customer. It's $5. You can have it. So, you know, this is probably going to be a thing I will try out one time and then not really mess with it, because I would much prefer to play on the new 3DS XL, but I do have a original 3DS I can try this out with just to see how it is, and that's probably going to be about it for the extent. So, you know what, to be honest, for a little cool kind of obscure accessory for the 3DS that I'm maybe going to use one time, free is not bad for that. Anyways, that has been it for this episode of Thrifty Gaming Pickups. I hope you all enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed, you know, picking these up and everything. And kind of what I said at the beginning of the last episode, I'm probably going to on purpose slow down a little bit here, because this weekend was just, I got a whole lot of stuff, but I also got a whole lot of stuff. And I was like, you know what, let me just slow down for a little bit. So I'm not saying this is ending by any means, but I'm just going to be going out less to these thrift shops, and I'm definitely going to be a little more sparse with it as well too. It's just like, yeah, this is a big windfall of games, which I am happy to have, but man, I'm going to be occupied for a while, even just like, you know, getting these ripped over and everything. So I got to carve out a huge chunk of space in, not space, but I guess add a huge chunk to the Xbox collection of good games, I would say. So I'm quite happy about that. Got another Wii that I can mess with, got some cool little accessories, got some Wii games there. You know, this is a good haul, right, Lily? Yeah. Anyways, this is Mr. Mario signing off. Thank you all for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, a like would be appreciated. If you didn't like it, a dislike is fine as well too. I had asked about this in the previous video because I had some consoles that I covered last, and I asked about the prices on them, but I'd like to know, this bundle that I showed you all, again, the Wii with everything here, so the 2 nunchucks, the 2 Wiimotes, the cables, the 2 wheels, and 5 games, one of which is good. How much would that be in your area at a thrift store? I'm just curious, because again, for me, I saw it at 45 bucks, and that's what I paid for it. So anyways, let me know. And again, like if you liked it, dislike if you didn't. But as I always say, if you didn't like the video, you can dislike it. You're just gonna make this dog here very, very sad.